there are some very important, strong, positive reasons why Tom Mastrangelo needs to win this primary. I should say deserves to win this primary, and will be the most effective voice for the constituents in Morris and Passaic County in the state Senate. For far too long, New Jersey has suffered under the weak minority fake opposition that had failed over 3 years to do anything about what Governor Murphy and the majority Democrats were doing to our state, as they locked us down and masked our kids and gave away freebies to illegals, including driver's licenses, which some Republicans supported. Sadly, incumbent Joe Panaccio even voted for a Murphy budget that had millions and millions of dollars in giveaways for illegal aliens. And why? Because these guys get to Trenton and they drink the Kool-Aid, they think it's easier and better to get along, and they forget where they came from. Tom Mastrangelo knows exactly where he came from. And I will tell you this, he ran in a race for re-election, and I supported him when the party organization dropped him because they were working on a deal with the opposition candidate to Tom because her family had gobs of money. They were willing to overlook support of this groomer agenda that has drag queens reading stories and twerking in front of toddlers. They were okay with that because they were so desperate to bring in the money. And you know what's interesting? They failed. They failed not only to bring in the money, as Morris County is now one of the worst county organizations in the entire state, being run into the ground by the current leadership supported by Joe Panaccio, because they have retreated back to this old boys network where they act like it's all about preserving their power for the county and not about representing the people. Well, Tom Mastrangelo showed them all up by winning a convincing re-election to his seat at county commissioner. And the reason he won is because he spoke truth. Nobody stood up for parents. Tom did. Nobody in that race was standing up for small business. Tom did. Nobody was willing to stand up and say, not one veteran should be without a seat in a school that they want to get educated, and not one veteran should be without a job or a roof over his head, and we should not be spending $1 coddling illegals and criminals while our veterans suffered. Only Tom Mastrangelo had the courage and the guts and the fight to do it. You know, some people, they talk about Tom and they say, oh, he's a little bit rough. He's a little bit too tough. Let me tell you something. We have gone through a very challenging last 3 years. We have another challenging 3 to 6 years ahead of us with what's going on in Washington and around the world and what's happening in Trenton. We better start electing tough people to these seats to speak for us and speak for New Jersey and speak for the moms and the dads who are tired of having their kids sexualized in school. All of these things are happening, and there's only one voice in this race that has shown in action that he will be that champion for families, small businesses, teachers, cops, and everybody in between. And guys, I've been doing this stuff a long time, and in my business career, I have interviewed thousands of people. And I can tell you that the question that I ask is not what would you do, but what did you do? Joe Panaccio failed the citizens in this state by being a part of a weak opposition for 3 years while the Democrats ran roughshod over our rights. Tom Mastrangelo, given the same opportunity, stood up, fought back, and was a champion of the working and middle class. And I want to see him take that seat in the state Senate. So I am proud to endorse him, proud to stand with him,